listen to the mayor, either of Fichtburg or Leominster, they will tell you that the university does an outstanding job of interacting with the community as well as it can with the resources that we have, and we try to be a resource. The issue here, though, is a resource allocation issue. We can't be everyone all the time. There's only so many resources to go around. There's give and take, and that's what the university regularly struggles with. So I asked that when the topic be put on the agenda, it go beyond a conversation of the pool, but a conversation of the rec center, because this is really an opportunity analysis. We have some variables at play here that have to be considered. We do have costs, and I'll give you some details on those costs. We also have some usage issues, not just with the pool, but across the rec center in general. And then we have some physical capacity constraints, which make it difficult for us to do what we want. And again, the reason that I shared the earlier information was because the university, in fulfilling its mission, has to think about our primary constituents first, and those are our students. Again, we'd love to be everything to everyone, but it's not always possible. This is not a conversation, as has been suggested in some things that I've read of recent, where this is a cost-cutting exercise. There was no intention of draining the pool and leaving a hole in the ground. And it was also not designed as a commercial revenue-generating exercise either, because we would be ill-suited here on the campus with our physical structure and some of our HR issues to make that work. So this is about opportunity cost. And so that's the way I'd like to sort of frame the rest of the conversation. So to give you some sense of the cost or the financials, we have a compounding set of mechanical problems. The pump is part of it, but there are a whole array of problems that have been starting to manifest themselves that the people that we have brought in would suggest require changeover if we were to have a long-running sustainable pool. Anyone that's ever dealt with a plumbing issue or a mechanical issue, you fix one problem and the next thing breaks. And so that is where we find ourselves here. So we've had two estimates done independently. One was an independent estimate. We have professional plumbing and HVAC people on staff all the time. We also brought in an external service to do an estimate on the pool to bring it up to what they consider to be fully functioning order for the long term. Those two quotes were within about $200 of each other, and the number, in round numbers, was about $460,000. So that would include parts, and it would include the labor at the prevailing wage to get that done. This is a standard procedure for us. A job of this magnitude would require an RFP. We would have to go out to bid. And so in order to develop a scope of work for someone to bid on, we would bring in one of these estimators to assess how we would go about writing the scope of work.
Can I interrupt you? I'd like to ask this gentleman if he's recording.
I am.
Oh, you're supposed to let me know that you're recording, because I'm required under the open meeting law to announce to everybody here that the meeting's being recorded. So I've done that, so I think we're okay. Continue on.
So $460,000 is the number that we came up with a cost for repair. At the same time, we asked that estimator for an estimate on alternative construction. So if the pool were to be filled in and we were to think about an alternative for that space, and there's a significant footprint there. Their estimate was about $367,000 to bring that space to the beginning of a new alternative construction. The operating costs, my numbers are very similar to Stevens. We actually provided those in an information request. We're off by a couple of $1,000. I can't remember what his number was, but I have $66,000 estimated for supplies, chemicals, the certified pool operator, the lifeguards, etc. So those would be the ongoing costs. I didn't calculate a rough ballpark of an aquatics director, but certainly I would share with you that at least at this university, all hires are done in a holistic fashion. So we would look at the greatest need. We would probably, if it was proposed that we had a full-time aquatics director, we would compare that to other positions that we are considering at the time and pick the most important one that we felt met the needs, again, of our student body. So to give you some sense of things that might be on that list, mental health counselor, tutors for students, career planning and placement for those that are graduating that need assistance to enter the workforce and be competitive. There are a significant number of positions that I would like to have that I simply don't have the ability to afford. With regard to usage, there are some things that happen that dot through the calendar. I'll share some of those with you and give you a sense of what our rec center numbers reflect in terms of pool usage. So on a typical day, there are 6 hours of open swim time that dot through the calendar. In a high month, average usage per day at the pool was 9. On a low month, the average usage of the pool was 2. There are water aerobic classes that are offered for faculty, students, staff. They have averaged 5 per session. Student development activities as presented by the rec center, 2 to 3 per year, averaging 10 or 15 students. Probably our biggest or most consistent group is the Alpha group, which takes water aerobics classes. They meet approximately 4 times a semester. Those classes tend to run 20 or 25 students. They are popular, we know that. And then this Leominster combined swim team, which has been using the pool approximately 3 months per year to practice and hold their meets. So that has been the predominant usage of the pool, and one of the reasons that we had a concern as it was low. I will tell you also within that same usage level are the racquetball courts, squash courts, not much action there as well. Another concern for us in terms of rec center usage. On the high side of the usage, there is high capacity for aerobic activities, aerobic sports, the stationary bikes, the treadmills, that kind of thing, as well as weight training. Anyone that has been in that facility knows that it is grossly under capacity in terms of size. The equipment is aging. Students are using it at high levels. They have regularly complained over the years that the space is crowded, that the wait times for equipment is long, and have asked for alternative opportunities unless we were to reconfigure the actual physical size of the building. At that point, we really had no place to go with it.